Welcome back to Travel Show Live. Today we're just outside Beaumont, Texas. I'm Erik Hastings. We brought an expert because we need to talk ecotourism. That's why Michael Hoke is here. Hello, sir. Thank you for letting us hang out.
Appreciate you coming.
Yeah, thank you very much. Now, before we get to where we are, can we talk about this ecotourism thing to begin with? Because I still don't know if we can define it. Does anybody know what it means?
Well, you know, as somewhat of a purist, I'm not sure you could put eco and tourism together.
Exactly. Okay, all right, fine. That's a good place to start. But really, people are now. The good news is that you know, in the last 5 years, or even 3 years, or 7 years, people are seeking out that experience, right?
That's correct. You know, I think what we have here is almost a need for a sense of wonder. You know, today we're completely overrun by technology, and there's all types of video things that they can see from video games and stuff like that. But to be able to walk into a place that's somewhat pristine, that's out in nature, you know, it may be an internal thing that humans need. And going out into nature and having that sense of wonder when you look out and you see thousands of birds, or you maybe just the quietness of being in an environmental situation where there's no noise.
Now that's an interesting concept because you know, we spend less and less time outdoors. That more and more technology makes it easier and easier for us to do that. Yet as humans, we still seek out that experience, whether we know it or not. I mean, almost the conclusion you're drawing, which I think is very interesting.
You know, it may be a situation where it's almost a genetic need to have that thing.
Yeah.
And you know, but my philosophy is a little bit different. Even if it's
Here's
not,
where it gets really good.
Even if it's not a genetic need to know, we must get people in these situations, because the only way that we're going to develop an appreciation of these places is to have people visit them, and without appreciation, they won't have any value.
Okay.
So it you know, falls back into that realm. So maybe we don't define ecotourism, but we do at Shangri La want people to come here and to develop that sense of appreciation.
Well, you know, a lot of times on our program we talk a lot about how travel is good for you, and it's an undefined sort of thing. But when you come out to this experience, would you agree that coming out and seeing what we've got out here today has the ability to change someone's life for the better?
Yeah,
I know it sounds kind of corny, but like, it's true.
Yeah, you know, people need something to stimulate their interest, and you know, nothing's better than to walk out into a situation like this, where there's lots of things around, lots of nature and things like that, to stimulate the interest. And once you get their interest stimulated, I think Rachel Carson put it best. You know, you plant that seed, and then from the seed, they can grow on their own.
Yeah, how appropriate. Speaking of which, we are at Shangri La Botanical Gardens. Did I say it right?
That's correct.
All right, now explain what we're looking at here.
Yeah. Well, we're right in the middle of three cities. You can hear sirens here, but
it's my ride. I have to go.
262 acres right in the middle of 3 cities, and it's, you know, it's a big green area that is ecologically in fairly pristine conditions. But we also added a botanic garden. The botanic garden is not a pristine condition. It's a place where people learn about the diversity of plants on Earth. So you know, we have both at Shangri La. We have the nature part and the botanical garden part. So it's a unique educational institution in a small Texas town.
And you make it fun, because sometimes learning about nature can be, at the risk of offending some people, kind of boring.
Well,
and that's what I like about this place. You know what I mean? Like, you come out and you make it interesting for us to consume.
Everything that we've tried to do out here from the very beginning of designing, we looked into that. You know, I think of a lot of museums as dead zoos. You go in and it's just a big dead zoo. The animals are in there and stuff like that.
I've never heard
anybody. From the very beginning, we started with Shangri La. I told the exhibit designer, I said, I don't want a dead zoo. I want something that's interactive. I want something that kids can get into. I want there to be live animals, but not in the zoo situation, knowing that we're going to be able to release them back into nature. Zoos have their place, don't misunderstand.
Sure.
But this is never meant to be a zoo. It's a place where you're very liable to walk into and see a rabbit or a snake or something like that. Not because we designed the environment, it's because the environment was here and we preserved it. So they were able to see those things because, you know, we've been very careful as far as our footprints out here.
We are going to bring the family out here. What are the kids going to do while we're out here?
Well, first of all, we would hope that they would go through the museum and kind of get that sense of wonder started with that film where the screen opens up and you see nature. And then they would walk down a path, go through a Nature Discovery Center museum that's an interactive museum, and it just kind of gives them the taste of what they're looking for. And then they walk down a path, they get on an electric boat, and they go into a cypress tupelo swamp that's basically balanced upon a beaver pond. And you know, when you get out there and look at that, you know, that is enough stimulus for 99.99% of the people to really get into the nature thing out here. So You know, that's what they're. Then after that, they can go over to the botanical garden. They can walk through. They can see the man manipulated things that we've done out here with the flowers and plants like that. And that's an important part too, is that we tried to basically show how man can use nature kind of as a paintbrush. And that's in here too, but we have both, the Botanical Garden and the Nature Center.
For those that can't come down to Shangri La, they're listening to what you're saying, they think, you know what, I got to go out and get something like this close to home. How do they start looking for that type of experience?
You know, of course, we all know the internet is a really good place to start. And if you write Nature Center down or you write Botanical Garden down, you get tremendous number of hits. And you know, most of the botanical gardens at one time or other thought, well, you know, we better add a nature center. And most of the nature centers said we need to plant a few trees, and call it a botanic garden. You know, and what we did at Shangri La, we got to start over. We got to do both of them at the same time. But they're all over the United States, and they're fantastic ones in the eastern part of the United States and everywhere you go.
Yeah. It's a shame you don't like what you do for a living, Michael. It's a shame. Sooner or later, you're going to really enjoy it, I promise. Okay? All right, we'll be right back. Thanks for letting us do this.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate it.